The final stage of the Tour of Luxembourg had everything to play for. The GC very much in play until the final pedal strokes and at the start of the fifth and final day of the race. Beginning in Mersch and heading to Luxembourg capital city, there were just 10 seconds between first and fifth in the general classification and 3 seconds separating each and every place on the podium. Almost 180 kilometres for the last day. Over 3,200 metres of climbing. It promised, as the other stages had been, to be an entertaining one. Almost 3 full circuits at the end, a repeat of last year's finishing circuit. This one had everything. And it had everything from the start as well. Mathieu van der Poel in the race lead. 3 riders from an initial 7 team would remain in the breakaway. Ryan, Milesi and Stanemitted there. But in the early break, that had then been brought back, almost everybody in the top 10 had been represented, including the race leader Van der Poel. He and the rest were sitting back now and waiting for things to happen, as Lidl Trek mainly chased down those 3 in the front. Bernard and Zabia were racing fantastically well. And by the time we got to Luxembourg City and the final circuit itself, there was around half a minute of a distance. UAE decided to try and bring things back together and set up Mark Hirschi to take bonus seconds. He started the day at 8 seconds from the lead. And a lead of the race on the day was breaking up. Mars Pedersen was looking for a stage win and he tried to follow Hirschi. Mathieu van der Poel was looking good in the yellow jersey, but there were just 3 seconds of a lead for him over both Ayuso and Van Sevenant. Well, Sevenant was following well. Ayuso was sitting back in the bunch. Hirschi was on the move. At the second time over the finish line, it was all about bonus seconds. Hirschi going to try and take them. But Van der Poel would move up to him. Kelderman would attack. And it will be Kelderman to take the 3 seconds. Van Sevenant beating Van der Poel in a sprint to the line. That was a collector's item for him, and it took him 2 bonus seconds, taking 1 second back in the hunt for the GC. Van der Poel taking 1 meant that he'd extend his lead on the likes of Antonio Tiberi here to 11 seconds, but Tiberi would sneak away on the penultimate stage climb. He would ride with Gaudu, Simmons and Giga, and the quartet would be increasing their lead as they went to the bottom of the final climb. It was almost 40 seconds when David Gaudu attacked. Gaudu was looking for a stage win. Van der Poel behind had to make an acceleration, the type that he's known for if he was to have any chance of hanging on. Would there be bonus seconds for Tiberi? He'd never won a stage race, had the Italian from Bahrain victorious, but he had a golden opportunity here. Pedersen followed Van der Poel. Gaudu would win the stage, his 2nd victory of the season and 1st since April. No bonus seconds crucially to Tiberi, who finished 4th, but the count was on to when Van der Poel would cross the line. 11 seconds of daylight for Van der Poel, and as it ticked on beyond 14 and 15 on this point, the victory was going to Bahrain. Their first overall stage race win of the season, the first of Tiberi's career. Pedersen just about getting the better of Van der Poel in the sprint for the remaining places. Van der Poel finishing 2nd in the end in the general classification. And delight for Bahrain. Tiberi taking a huge step forward in his career. And David Gaudu winning ahead of Quinn Simmons and Jordan Giga. That was the top 10 on the day. Delight for Gaudu, who still has the World Championships and Lombardy to aim for. But winning will be a special feeling. He certainly looked happy about it. And it was a victory that took him onto the general classification podium as well. The points, they were won by Mathieu van der Poel. He'd been in charge of the blue jersey all week. And he'd receive it on the podium at the end of the 5 stages. Pepijn Reinderink was the king of the mountains, as he'd been since the opening stage. He took the black jersey away from the 5-day race around the Grand Duchy. The best young rider being the best rider overall, Tiperi, still eligible for the white jersey and winning it, just as he'd done at the Giro d'Italia. But this time he was the overall winner as well. Winning the Tour of Luxembourg ahead of Mathieu van der Poel by 15 seconds, 16 from Gaudu. Disappointment, but a wonderful race ridden by Mari van Sevenant, who finished fourth. A yellow jersey for Antonio Tiperi. Just a second career win at a first overall general classification prize. It's been quite the week in Luxembourg. Plenty more racing still to come in 2024. You can catch it on Eurosport and Discovery Plus as we head to the World Championships.